How's it hanging, champs? Gonna react to a few of these clips. Hope you enjoy.
But I believe today the most serious evil organization on the face of the earth is the Vatican. You're talking the Knights of Malta, which gave us the 6 men who founded the CIA in America, were all Catholics, members of the Knights of Malta. When you begin to look at the banking fraternities in America, like the Bank of America, Union Bank in California, all of these people who founded these banks and today are running the banking establishment are all Knights of Malta, Catholic Masonry. All the kings and rulers in Europe rule by the divine right. It's called the divine right of kings. What are you talking about? Who represents divine to give the king the right? The Pope. The Pope appoints certain families to be over the French. The Pope appoints certain people to be over the Germans and over the British. And so by divine right. Why? Because the Pope represents God. And the Pope says that this family is holy and that they should rule. And therefore they could now say they rule by divine right.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. All these secret societies and, jerk-offs, basically, they all suck. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt all that a bit. I don't know, exactly who's top dog, really, I guess. But, I mean, they're all corrupt and evil.
Let us never tolerate outrageous conspiracy theories.
We are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned, no rumor is printed, no secret is revealed.
From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
The people pushing for totalitarianism don't care one whit for them. Once their usefulness is done, out of here. If you're not going to have something positive to contribute to the new world order, you're out of here. Forget about you. They don't care.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
The Theosophical Society has had more influence on the United Nations than any other religious society, whether you would call it Christian or a cult.
Theosophist Alice Bailey, who actually put great store in the United Nations for bringing the world together spiritually. One example is someone I already mentioned, the Lucis Trust of Alice Bailey. It used to be called the Lucifer Trust, but some folks from Ligonier got in touch with them and said, we did well promoting Ligonier, and you'd better change your name too. That was a joke, folks. Loosen up. The Lucifer Trust, now known as the Lucis Trust, has been in charge of the meditation room of the United Nations ever since its founding. Still is. Its goal is to bring all religions and nations together.
Now, for the first time in the history of that Yale club, 2 of its former members will go head-to-head for the presidency. Also the first time in the history of that slightly less secretive organization, the United States of America. That's right, John Kerry was also in Skull and Bones.
You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America? The conspiracy theorists are going to go
I'm
wild.
sure they are. I don't know. I haven't seen the rest.
Number 322?
First of all, he's not the nominee. And, look, I look forward...
Are you prepared to lose?
No, I'm not going to lose.
You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us?
Not much, because it's a secret.
Is there a secret handshake? Is there a secret code?
I wish there were something secret I could manifest.
322, secret number?
There are all kinds of secrets, Tim, but one thing is not a secret. I disagree with this president's direction that he's taking the country.
Remember the student who got tasered when he confronted Senator Kerry at a university event and wouldn't step away from the microphone? This is part of what happened.
I said, were you a member of Skull and Bones in college with this? Were you in the same secret society? And don't tase me, bro!
And that was the before and the after at this event.
Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear.
Hollywood is the one that keeps all this power structure and all this culture of racism and sexism and classism and genderism and all of it in place. They continually feed it, and they make a lot of money doing it. And they do it at the behest of their masters who run everything. And it blows my mind, but that's the culture. It's a culture of fear for sure. And it's a big culture of mind control too. MK Ultra mind control rules in Hollywood. If you don't know, Google that and look into it.
My question is, should Christians be concerned with all the talk of the Illuminati? It seems wherever there are Christians these days, there is conversation about a new world order that is coming soon that will persecute Christians. Is there a conspiracy against us? Is there anybody out there who more than 2 or 3 are plotting together against us? Brethren, the scripture speaks about a kingdom of darkness. You know what this world around us? Are there secret groups out there? Are there people out there who are controlled by the lusts of the flesh, controlled by Satan? Are there people out there who are controlled by sin? People out there who know not the Lord? People out there who are in conspiracy to get rich, to get power, to take advantage of people? Absolutely. And beyond that, the very demons, the devil himself, are in collusion to damn men. Is there a conspiracy? Yeah. Are there people plotting against God, against His anointed? Scripture says so. Of course there is. What?
Yeah, there are definitely a lot of evil people. Really, I can't stand seeing all the symbolism all the time, and just all of it. Everything's controlled. Most of what's on the media is fake. Like, here, watch this next clip.
And then there's and this man is here. Where is he? He's here. And then he's here as well. Though my favourite one is this lady who's in front of Tao, who is behind Tao, but just doing the same face. They're quite literally doing the same face. I just don't understand. Why didn't they change their costumes? At least take off the accessories, man. Like, what?
everything you see on there is fake. It's just crazy.
Planet X researcher and professional physicist. And today I'd like to bring to you another one of my articles. This one is entitled "The Sun is No Longer Shining." And in article 340 entitled "Solar Observatory Evacuated, What Did They Discover About the Sun?" I detailed the evidence for the Sun having been weakened by the dead stars that have been invading our solar system since at least 1850, as this was when noctilucent clouds were first observed. And for more details on that, you may look at article 272 entitled "Noctilucent Clouds and Planet X Debris in the Earth's Atmosphere." I call the system to which these objects belong the Planet X system of stellar cores. I wrote in that article that the Sun is now no longer shining and that the images provided by satellites of the Sun are most likely old, perhaps several years old. I also wrote about the fact that even space weather can be artificially simulated. Because the Sun is no longer shining, the powers that be have replaced it with sun simulators. And since the Moon and the planets will also not be visible if the Sun is no longer shining, these have also been replaced in our skies by Moon and planet simulators. Some of the evidence for that is provided here. As you can see, this is a hexagonal Sun, therefore a device, a simulator, and it's surrounded by multicolored additional light sources and multiple other disc-shaped devices. And some seem to have holes in the form of some array pattern. And these are all clearly artificial and not what our real Sun could possibly be like. The photograph was taken by Scott Sian, and this one was taken by Andrew from the Boogeyman channel. And as you can see, this is the Moon simulator. This does not look like the Moon at all. This looks like a holographic projection onto a screen. And you can even see that the colors have separated. There's more blue on one side and more yellow on the other. So a clear indication that this is a holographic projection. Now, one of the ways that anyone can see that the Sun is no longer shining upon the Earth's atmosphere is by looking straight upwards during the day. Whether it is the middle of the day and the Sun is just above our heads or close to sunrise or sunset, the sky above our heads will be darker blue than anywhere else. However, with the Sun illuminating the atmosphere, the sky close to the Sun's position is supposed to be lighter blue. So this is what we are observing. And that is if there aren't too many clouds in the sky. If we look straight up, you will notice that the sky right above your head will be darker than anywhere else, even if the Sun is in the midday position. This is not what it's supposed to be like. This part of the sky is supposed to be much lighter than anywhere else because the Sun is supposed to be illuminating it. But this is not what's happening. And even if the Sun is in the sunset position, we still have this portion right above our heads that will be darker. And what's supposed to happen then is the sky on the other side should be darker blue. So the sky should be getting darker as we look further and further away from the Sun's position. But this is not what's happening at all. The sky above our heads is always darker. And that shows us that this is not the object illuminating our atmosphere at all. It's not the Sun, and this is not the real Sun. This is a simulator. And so this means our atmosphere is not being illuminated from above. So this is because the Sun seen by is not what is illuminating the sky. As I said, both the sky and the Sun seems to be a holographic projection. The source for both seems to be a source which is in orbit around the Earth, which is most likely powered by the ionosphere. Now, the reason why the sun is dark above our heads is because the atmosphere is being artificially illuminated, as I said, so that only the bottom part of the atmosphere is getting illumination. And this illumination is coming from within the atmosphere. This illumination seems to come from the main sun simulator, which appears to be in orbit, but it is spread through the atmosphere through a holographic projection system. When we look straight upwards, we see less of this illumination because there is only a thin layer of illuminated atmosphere above our heads, and that's illustrated here. So you can see the length of the atmosphere we're looking through if we look straight up is much less than the length that we will look through if we look horizontally across towards the horizon. So this means that because the illumination is actually within the atmosphere, that there will be much less illumination in this atmosphere that we're looking through if we look straight up than what there is if we look lengthways this way towards the horizon. So this means that the sky simply looks darker if we look straight up. And of course, that also means that the sun cannot be illuminating the atmosphere from above the atmosphere. It's not the sun. The illumination is not coming from the sun. It's coming from within the atmosphere itself through the holographic projection system. Now, I first noticed the darkness in the sky above my head in 2016, but it didn't seem to be happening all the time then. Now it is. This would indicate that the sun was turning on and off in 2016. Now it is off permanently. In conclusion, the fact that the sky is now permanently dark above our heads, even when the sun is close to the midday position, indicates that the sun is not illuminating the Earth's atmosphere, but that the light is coming from within the atmosphere and is provided by the sky simulation system situated within the Earth's atmosphere, with perhaps some parts in orbit. This suggests that the sun is no longer emitting visible light, which would therefore make observing the real moon and planets impossible, as these only become visible when there is sunlight for them to reflect. And those are the references. This is Dr. Claudia Albers, Planet X physicist. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, I mean, there's something definitely up with the sun and the stars. I mean, there are actual patents on sun simulators, or I forget, something like that. But you ever think like maybe the satellites are somehow casting, I don't know, a fake sky? I don't know. It sounds wild, but I mean, the sun's definitely different than what it used to be. Just being outside, it feels different than it used to. You look up at night, there's never a ton of stars. I mean, you remember like when we were younger, I mean, the sky would be full of stars, you know, like, I mean, there's pictures of just the sky filled with stars. It's not like that now. You see some, but nowhere near like it used to be. And I don't know. I feel like they're doing something. I don't know what it could be exactly, but stuff definitely ain't the same.
Some things we don't know about. But if something is obvious, whether you've done the research or not, if something is obvious, then why would you argue about it? Okay? Now y'all can go home and drink your Androchrome, you sucker-ass motherfuckers. I'm cool on that. Shaka Zulu, man.
Yeah, I know you're not supposed to talk about that on here, but I mean, I think they're doing that stuff. It's terrible, and they'll be punished for it eventually.
It was all a psyop to do exactly what it's doing now, to get you to turn on the people that's trying to help you. And I must add, this is for entertainment purposes only, because they keep violating me, bro. So I gotta say, y'all should check out this post Trump recently made And it's about the Epstein files, and it all makes sense. What's going on with my boys, in some cases girls? They're all going after Attorney General Pam Bondi, who is doing a fantastic job. We're on one team, MAGA, and I don't like what's happening. We have the perfect administration, the talk of the world, and selfish people are trying to hurt it all over a guy who never dies, Jeffrey Epstein. Because don't forget, this is the same person that's on your $20 bill. For years, it's Epstein over and over and over again. Why are we giving publicity to the files written by Obama, crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and the losers and criminals of the Biden administration who conned the world with the Russia hoax, 51 intelligence agents, the laptop from hell, and more? They created the Epstein files, just like they created the fake Hillary Clinton, Christopher Steele dossier that they used on me, and now my so-called friends are playing right into their hands. Why don't these radical left lunatics release the Epstein files? If there's anything in there that could have hurt the MAGA movement, why didn't they use it? That's the question everyone has to ask themselves. Why didn't they release the files themselves if they could use it against Trump? Simple answer is they couldn't use it against Trump because, as you just said, they created it. But everybody in such belief in it because during the Biden administration, that's all they was talking about. And what others were talking about to get released. So you place people into prison. So to continue on, they haven't given up on the John F. Kennedy or the Martin Luther King files neither. No matter how much success we have had securing the borders, deporting criminals, fixing the economy, energy dominance, a safer world where Iran will not have nuclear weapons. And as I mentioned to y'all before, Iran means Iran. That is where they first landed, and that basically the people that has more to RT blood, I'ma just say lizard, mean they are more negative based beings, as in they can't even be good if they wanted to. They hate peace, but they love chaos. They're literally the opposite side of us. And it goes on to say, they're about to achieve more in 6 months than any administration have achieved in over 100 years, bro. Then, like I said, that's when they really took over and started brainwashing people. Was a bit over 100 years ago during World War I. We are saving our country and making America great again, which will continue to be our priority. The left is imploding. Cash Patel and the FBI must be focused on investigating the voter fraud, political corruption, Act Blue, the rigged and stolen elections of 2020, and arresting the thugs and criminals instead of spending months after months looking into nothing but the same old radical left inspired documents on Jeffrey Epstein. Let Pam Bondi do her job. She's great. The 2020 election was rigged and stolen, and they have tried to do the same thing in 2024. That's what she's looking into as an AG, Attorney General, and much more. 1 year ago, our country was dead, and now it's the hottest country anywhere in the world. Let's keep it that way and not waste our time and energy on Jeffrey Epstein, somebody that nobody cares about. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So I want y'all to really think about it, though. These people really did make a psyop on Jeffrey Epstein, because the one question is, why didn't they use it against him when they was in office? That type stuff got to make you think. And especially how this man somehow offed himself in prison. We all know the same people that he just named that created those files was the same people that helped him get out of that prison. And like I said, there's a reason why they said he never dies. But of course, that's on a whole nother level that people will not understand unless you already been on a spiritual journey. Because a lot of these people aren't really people. They look like people, like humans. But they are of a negative bloodline. Y'all be gods. Hey.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think the Epstein stuff is a psyop. It's all a distraction. Not for the reasons he's saying, though. I mean, I think the left and the right are bad. I don't think they're helping anybody. I think prices right now are pretty crushing, really. I mean, everything's just too much. Yeah, so I don't know how they could have gotten so much done in the past 6 months or whatever he was talking about, but it definitely doesn't feel that way. Feels the same, if not worse, from the past couple years. So, but yeah, shapeshifters, lizard people, whatever. I think they're Nephilim, descendants of the fallen angels mixed with humans, or they might just be fallen angels. I don't know, or demons. I don't know. But what do you guys think about all that? I don't trust anybody in our media. I don't think Trump's helping anybody. I think he's put there, I don't know. Maybe it's a way to give people hope. But the left, they do a lot of crazy stuff, obviously. But the right, they don't really fix anything either. They don't really stop anything. So I don't know how they're any better, And I'm talking about the politicians, not the right, like the people that are on the right side of politics. I'm talking about the politicians.
There are two things that are documented to happen when someone clinically dies. The first is that...
Oh, shoot. Sorry, guys. What is happening? What? Well, guys, I don't know what's happening with this clip, but I appreciate you watching. Here, I'll try to play it again. I don't know.
There's a conspiracy theory that claims that we're already dead, and the evidence comes from science. There are two things that are documented to happen when someone clinically dies. The first is that your entire life will flash before your eyes. And the second is that your brain keeps working 7 minutes after your body's gone. And we've literally recorded the brain still firing after death, actively creating memories. So for 7 minutes, we're in this dreamlike state where we're reliving our entire life. And according to this guy you may have heard of, Albert Einstein, time is relative. But what does that actually mean? This is suggesting that 7 minutes in the real world could feel like 100 years in the dream state. Kind of like when you fall asleep, you dream an entire movie, then wake up 5 minutes later. Now here's where it gets weird. Some people believe that we all died in 2012. That's when the Mayan calendar predicted the end of the world. And remember, this is all just for fun, and this is just a conspiracy theory. This theory suggests that instead of an apocalypse, we collectively slipped into this 7-minute brain echo. And this right here, right now, is our dream. This is us reliving our memories. And little time glitches, little weird things like the Mandela effects, or like deja vu, or feeling like the world is off, those are just cracks in the memory trying to keep itself stitched together. So this theory is saying that that would mean that the world did end and we just haven't accepted it yet. Do you think we're 7 minutes into the afterlife? You can come over here for longer freaky videos.
No, I don't think so. I know sometimes it feels like we're in hell right now. I'm sorry, guys. Lots been going on. But, no, I don't think this is the case. What else did she say? I think there definitely is an afterlife. I would say believe on the Lord Jesus Christ, and thou shalt be saved. Believe that he's the Son of God, that he died for our sins, that he was buried, and that he rose 3 days later. Believe that, believe on him, and you'll be saved. That's simple. But, yeah, I don't know. I think that Mayan calendar stuff is interesting. I think maybe, just like our calendars, maybe it just ran up. I don't know. Maybe they just needed to make a new one. I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about it. I don't know. Did it actually predict the end of the world, or did the calendar just end? You know what I mean? I don't know. But I think it's interesting, and I think that all the stuff about everybody dying in 2012 is interesting also. I'd like to look more into it. Maybe I'll make a video trying to find more clips about that. Anyways, I appreciate you watching. I hope you're having a great day, and God bless you.